Hi, my name is Louissa Lakisan and I will be representing SMK for the NILAM English category. My hobby is playing music, but besides that, I also do readings to kill time. One of my favorite genres to read is fantasy. When you hear the word fantasy, you tend to think about a world full of magic or perhaps ridiculous things that don't make sense happen. Well, you are correct. Reading fantasy books is a way for you to escape reality and be immersed with a whole new world that plays inside your head. The first book that I'm going to talk about is a fairy tale classic that we used to read when we were young, but it tells us the story beyond what we remember from the classic characters. That book is, or maybe books are, The Land of Stories, written by Chris Colfer. It's a 6-series novel, but my all-time favorite is the fourth book, which is Beyond the Kingdom. The story focuses on two main protagonists, the iconic twins, Alex and Connor, who embark on a journey to the Land of Stories, the land where all of our childhood literary characters live, such as Cinderella, Goldilocks, Jack and the Beanstalk, Red Riding Hood, and many more. What I like about this story is that you could truly see how the characters grow and develop through each book, not just the main protagonist, but also the classic characters. The Land of Stories books tells about how the characters struggle, and there are a lot of plot twists that made my stomach drop. Seeing, or maybe in this case reading, the classic characters of your childhood dying is unexpected. Imagine Bo Peep, the well-known shepherd girl who lost her sheep, died because of a broken heart. If you read these books, your whole perception of the evil queen, the famous villain from classic Snow White, will absolutely change. Who knows that the evil queen was just a normal girl trying to live a normal life with her beloved until all of that was taken away from her, which caused her to do anything to obtain that life back. The evil queen story in this book is the most tragic and unfortunate tale. What I dislike about this book is the disappointing ending. You don't hear much about the characters after the last battle in the last book, because the story straight away goes to the part where they are old enough with the happy ending and all, which is for me quite a cliche. But overall, this book is a wonderful story, as it taught me that you need to be willing to do anything for your loved ones and know to not judge a book by its cover. The second book that I'm going to talk about is Always Emily. This book took me a year to finish because it has a boring first introduction. But as I slowly read through each chapter, the story began to become more interesting and caught me to start finish reading it. It's a story about the Bronte sisters' past stories. It's an entertaining, though far-fetched mystery tale with spirited heroines. In this story, there are intimations of domestic abuse, Charlotte frets about the girls' ability to support themselves, and a woman endures decades of suffering after bearing a child out of wedlock. There are a lot of issues that may be hard for some readers to grasp, but if you are mature enough, I think this book will be worth reading. The third book that I would like to share with you is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. As many people know, this book is the best-selling book in the whole world, and the author of this story is J.K. Rowling. The plot twists in this book are totally unpredictable. From Sirius, a prisoner of Azkaban who turns out to be Harry's godfather, to Scabbers, Ron's rat pet, who turns out to be Peter Pettigrew, not to mention Lupin, who got plenty of plot twists up his sleeve. What makes this book the best-selling is the amount of creativity the author has to create another whole world of wizardry universe. The fourth book that I'm going to talk about is George's Marvelous Medicine. Who doesn't know Roald Dahl? He's the best world-renowned author of children's books that ever exist. His book is the reason why I am captivated to read fantasy books today. George's Marvelous Medicine provides you with complete nonsense and a child's creativity where George Cranky is home alone with his bossy, bullying grandmother. So he decides to concoct his own magic potion to replace her usual medicine as a way of getting even. The last time George made his potion, his grandmother mistakes it for tea and drinks the whole thing, shrinking out of existence. The funny thing about this story is that the family shrugs off the granny's disappearance, and the book ends with George pondering the potential of this new magical world he has discovered. Poor grandmother, that is what you get for being such a bully. The last book that I am going to review is James and the Giant Peach, whose author is also Roald Dahl. When poor James Henry Trotter loses his parents in a horrible rhinoceros accident, he is forced to live with his two wicked aunts, Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker. After 3 years of miserableness and loneliness, an old man gave James a bag of magic crystals that promised to reverse his misery forever. Unfortunately, James accidentally spills the crystals on his aunt's withered peach tree, causing a single peach to grow and grow and grow some more until finally James climbs inside the giant fruit and rolls away from his despicable aunts to a whole new life in which he finds lots of new friends. This is an entertaining story of my youth, and I will definitely recommend this to every child so they can learn that it's never too late to make friends. Even though James loses his parents and his aunts are mean to him, he still desires to make friends who care about him, and he doesn't give up. Well, that is all from me. Hope you will have a wonderful and red drizzly day for days to come. Goodbye!